This video, to start things off, is going to be rather lengthy. It might be upwards of a half an hour because it is an advanced tutorial. It's very awesome. I love the outcome, and I thought you guys would enjoy this, but it is long. And I know you guys hate long videos of mine, but if you want awesome stuff, sometimes it's not always going to be short. So if you are a beginner, this may not be for you, but you're welcome to sit through and watch it and try and learn some stuff and actually try it yourself. But if you're not really advanced like I am, then this may be kind of confusing and hard for you, but just stick around with me and we'll get things started. So, alright, because it's so lengthy, I did the tutorial already for you guys, and I'm going to go step by step, layer by layer, because that's going to make it easier for you guys to watch and not as long. So that way you don't get bored. Okay? So here we go. You'll notice immediately that I have a background that's transparent. For those of you that don't know how to make a transparent background automatically, just go to File, New, and then when it says Background Color, just select Transparent and the size you want, and then click OK and you'll get that. Okay, so then you'll notice that I also have this lovely railroad track here. I have cut away the original background top of it. You'll see there was a sky right there. I deleted that completely. And you can do it in various ways. However you want to delete it is fine. There's no specific way of doing it. As long as you get it deleted, that's fine. Most of you should know how to do that by now. If you don't, well, there's multiple ways. You can go ahead and use the quick selection tool, magic wand tool, pen tool, anything of that nature will be fine to get rid of it. Alright, once you've gotten rid of your background there, you're going to now create your own sky. I have downloaded just some random stock footage here, but you're welcome to use your own. I have this blue sky here I've chosen. I got these off of google.com, so that's where you might want to look. You're welcome to go and try like DeviantArt or whatever, but just Google's fine for these. And then I chose another one on top of that, this lovely ominous I'll show you. It's this lovely like orange-y, sky, cloudy type one. And I changed that to hard light because I felt like that really contrasted well. And you'll see there. Okay. And then the last but not least, I added this lovely one here. It's just a random moon, pink and blue. It doesn't blend in quite well yet, but towards the end of the tutorial, it will start to blend in. So bear with me on that one. And that one's on screen. But you don't have to do that. That's just my personal preference, but whatever looks good to you. Alright, and then above that, we added a hue and saturation. And that one I had to make it as a clipping mask because I want to only have it on the railroad, not the sky. So double click that, and you'll see my settings are here. -40 for the saturation and -19 for the lightness. Alright, and if you want to know how to make clipping mask, all you gotta do is click on the little paint thingy here, and that will automatically turn it into a clipping mask, and you'll see the arrow pointing down. And that's what you want to see. Okay, next step. I added a gradient map. I added this lovely blue here. I'll show you the colors because you'll need them. I chose this lovely blue here for the left side. And then for the right side, I chose this bright kind of-ish blue here. Okay, you will get that, but you don't need that. That's going to be set at soft light, and the opacity and the fill will be both at 80%. Okay, are you with me? Alright, let's continue. Then I added a second gradient map, and this one's going to have more copper tone to it. Immediately you'll notice that mine's at soft light, and the opacity is at 80%, and the fill is at 90%. I will show you the colors I chose. Just make sure those settings there are already in your swatch. Alright. We have a lot here, actually. They're lighter and darker. This is the first one. It's a little bit darker. And as you notice, we're going to get lighter and lighter, so it's going to be different colors for each of them. Is that one there? Third one's this color. And fourth one, that one. And here we go for the next one. Okay. And the last but not least, we have this lovely bright one here. Alright, click OK, you're good to go. And again, make sure that you have your layer set at soft light, opacity and fill are at those dimensions 80 and 90%. Alrighty-roo, now let's continue. I need to now add some color to my railroad tracks because it looks a bit too obvious and weird and not with it. So here we go. I chose a lovely green tone. You can't really see it quite well, but once I do the opacity to 100%, you'll be able to see it more, a little bit more. You'll see it's a little bit more green. I want this to stay at 90. And I want the opacity 80% because that makes it look really well. And you can choose any green, a green tone of your sort. I chose a very bright green. Let's see if I have it in my swatch. Yes, I do. I chose this lovely green here. Alrighty-roo. You got that? We're good. Oh, and that is set at 35. Sorry, guys. 35 for the opacity on this one, and 35 for the fill, and the soft light for the blend mode. Okay, now I added some general lighting, and this is just one big huge dot. I just used like a yellowish color, something like that, and I just made a big huge dot right in the dead center right here. And it's a soft round brush if you didn't notice, but I'm sure you know that by now. And I changed the opacity to 50% on both the fill and the opacity, and turned it to hard light. So click hard light and then choose a brush color that will suit that canvas to look kind of like that. Okay, are you still with me or are you very confused? Hopefully you're not confused, but if you are, leave a comment below with whatever you have questions with, and I'll try my best to help you out. Alright, let's move on. Now, I added some shadowing. And the shadowing, as you notice, is just along the edges here. I just took a random black soft round brush and brushed a bit over there. The opacity is at 40% on the fill, and the opacity is multiply. If you go to normal, and I go to 100% on both, you'll see where I made those. Alright, you see here how I just took a brush of kind of black, kind of green, really dark black green color, and just brushed along the edges of this. Yep, that's what I did. Okay, and then multiply it, and just get rid of the opacity down to 40. Take the fill as well down to 40%. And that's where we're at. Okay, we are right there. I added some more lighting. You may not, just over here on the trees, because I figured we added some shadowing to this here. Why not add some lighting over here to brighten that up a bit? So I just took a really light yellow brush and just brushed along the sides there. The opacity is at 50%, 30%, sorry guys, and the fill is at 60%, and again, the blend mode's soft light. Soft light seems to be our blend mode of choice right now, so when in doubt, use soft light. Okay, that's that. I added a brightness and contrast to the whole thing now. Overall, this is what I chose. 25 for the brightness and 45 for the contrast. And that's that. Don't click on the clipping mask. It needs to go over everything because it needs to be with the background. Okay. We're halfway there, guys. I swear. We're halfway there. Alright, and this is another coloring I added. I chose a very nice green color. If I go to normal, you'll see what I chose. I used a soft round brush, and I used a similar green to what we chose before. And then I chose some really yellow orange tones and brushed along the whole thing. And then I turned that to obviously vivid light. And we get that. Looks pretty cool, don't it? Alright, and then you'll notice here that the fill is 80% and so is the opacity. Leave those there. Now, we haven't added our stock image of our person yet, but because we're going to, I added a shadow to the model on the bottom. I just put a little dot right there where she'll probably be standing, where she will be standing, and that gives it like a shadowish type. So now is where you need to go add your image. So grab an image of your choice. Make sure that she has feet or he has feet, whichever gender you choose. And you'll notice with mine, let's see, I did actually double take on that one. So this is the girl. This is Taylor Swift. She's just standing there, and you'll see the shadow mode works really well with her feet. Alright. And over here, you'll see on layer 2, if I get rid of her for a second, I went ahead and duplicated her layer, and I dropped the opacity down to basically almost nothing. And I went to perspective and made it look as if it's a shadow of her walking on the path. So the opacity is at 45%, and I turned the, I clicked on the layer. If you hold down your command key or control key and click it, I turned the color of that exact person black first. And with it being black, I then could make a shadow mode. So I'm going to just go get rid of that. And then 45% for the opacity, and you're good. So I'm going to make her visible again. Now we need to add some colorage to her because she's too bright for the actual image itself. So I think I need to add some stuff. So here we go. These are all going to be clipping masks. The following layers will be all clipped directly to her layer. So we added a hue and saturation. I chose negative 41 plus 25 just because I feel like that works well. I chose color balance. And I chose a lot of these settings just because they look really awesome. So the shadows are these as shown. Midtones are these as shown. And again, here's the highlights. Alright, and make sure you click the paint bucket to make it a clipping mask, otherwise it won't look as good. Alright, and then I have the brightness and contrast over here, and we have that. Alright, now as you'll notice, she's a bit way too dark for the particular photo, and that may happen to some of you in your photos. So in that event, if you find that it looks too weird, you can always go ahead and get rid of the hue and saturation and not use that. And with that, you can adjust the brightness and contrast to suit your photo, which is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make it less bright and less contrasty. That looks okay to me. Alright, and now we're going to add a gradient map above all of that. And I chose these colors. You know, I think these actually, are they in there? No, they're not. I think they're really already in there. No, they're not. Okay, click this here. That's the blue that I've used for the left side. And then over here onto the right side, I added this gold color here. Okay, click OK. Woohoo, yay. I set that blend mode to, you guessed it, soft light. And I chose the opacity to 65% and the fill to 80. Alright, we're nearly done. We got a couple more layers to go and we'll be golden. Alright, and then I added a curves layer above that. And, oh, imagine that. This layer is going to be normal. Alright, double click on that and you'll see where I just messed around with it a bit. I didn't mess around with it too much. I left the blue and the black RGB the same. It's mostly the red that I changed. You'll see that I kind of put it like way... Just play around with it so that it suits your photo. Don't mess with it too much, but give it that nice contrasty like orange-o setting. Okay, once you have that, you're going to add a levels layer. And this is what I have here. The output level is at 10 on the left side here. And then everything else stays the same. That's all you're changing. Okay? Oh, right, Rue. And then, almost last but not least, I added a vignette. Now again, if you don't know what a vignette is, basically what it is, it's when you take a black soft round brush and go around the edges to suit your photo. There are other versions of vignettes. There's actually a white vignette, which is called something else now. I thought it was a vignette, but no, if you use the white around the edges, it's something totally different. But black round edges are considered called vignettes. So that's what that is. Okay. And then last but not least, my last layer, I added this lovely dot right in the dead center. And I changed that to screen. You'll see that it's a really dark green color. And the reason being that I did that is because I wanted to add more light to her because she was kind of too much like, I don't know, she felt like she wasn't really in the photo. So I added that to really go with the sky and blend in. And I changed the opacity down to 73%. And that's that. So, yeah, that's the tutorial. That's it. You could add text, you could add other cool stock footages to this, you could use different photos. Your stock person photo will be totally different than mine, 100% sure on that. So you may want to play around with those settings to suit your photo. And again, if you don't want to add the hue and saturation, like I didn't want to add it because it looked really weird, you don't have to, but some photos may need the hue and saturation, but if not, no need for it, it's fine. So that's that. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. If you didn't like it and it was too long for you, I'm very sorry, but hopefully it was great for you and you learned something valuable and knowledgeable from moi. So thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Have a fabulous week if I don't see you or talk to you, but I will probably be online lots. So thanks for watching. Bye!